Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be playing some Gholdengo Lunatone Solrock. I will be playing Daniel Magna's winning list from Gdansk. I think the deck is very powerful and I just want to showcase how to play it. It's not one I think I'll be playing for Las Vegas, as I think that I'm playing Gardevoir EX for this event, but I think it's a deck, again, it's very good and I would not at all blame anyone for wanting to play this deck instead of anything else. Fortunately, some reason today live is being a little bit weird, my queue time, so we'll see how long this takes for finding someone of similar elo, because I'm not too high up yet this season. I'm only at 320. All right, so getting into the first match here. So the deck that you want to go second because you really just want to get as good as possible of Arven setup. So you just want to do that, and also you might want to attack with your Solrock on turn 1. All right, I'm going first. It's not a big deal. If I get a good setup, I can still have a very good start. Yeah, this hand's great because I can just double Nest Ball for a Lunatone Solrock and draw 3. See what match I'm playing first though, because it may change things. Okay, I want to do that for sure. I think strategy against Dragapult is just try and set up for this as quick as possible and then be very aggressive. I just need to draw cards, and it's the only way for me to draw cards. Like I could go, let's see. Better option here is I go Nest Ball Genesect, Nest Ball Gimmighoul. If they go Badoo, I'll think about this for a second, actually. So I kind of like that, because if I do that, it allows me to get better next turn. I'll look at my prizes before deciding. Prize of Gimmighoul, prize of Gholdengo, prize to Arven, prize fighting. I'm actually gonna, so originally I was gonna go with the other line, but I think it's a little bit better. I think that here I just really want to get out my Gholdengos. If I had for sure like attacked the following turn, like an Art Fighting or something, maybe it's a little different, but I think I just want to have as good of a setup for next turn as possible for like board state wise, because I can play this matchup a little greedy, I guess would be the right way of putting it. I think this turn 1 was quite interesting, but I think that this was just the best way of playing it, because I don't think there really was an alternative that was all that much better. What did they get? They got fire. Okay. I just was double checking. It's really good like when you're playing online to like double check things like that. I like checking Ionos a lot, like what cards I put on bottom. In person, you need to make sure to memorize it, but online you can just check that way. Okay. Let me think about how I want to play this hand. So I'm going to start with Genesect, Gholdengo. I'm going to evolve both for sure, so I'm just going to do that. Make this easy. Now I think if I want Arven first. I don't want to, because if I hit Fighting, or excuse me, Metal here, I think it's supposed to coin bonus. So I'm always going to play Arven, so I'm going to start with Arven here. And here it's just pretty easy to grab like Air Balloon plus like a Fighting Gong just like in the deck, because I want to keep Secret Box in there for like Iono. And now it's debated, do I draw 2 or do I go like Gimmighoul? I think I want to Gimmighoul here if I miss, so I don't want to the other way. Like I can burn energy here, it's not really a big deal. I really just need to make sure that I get access to Metal this next turn. Their hand's obviously weak, they played Hilda, so they don't have a draw supporter in hand, and this sets me up for a very high likelihood of just going boss KO on their Cloak the following turn if they have a bad hand, so I like this play a lot. It was worse like if the next card was in Metal, but it's always something you can predict for, so that's why I played it like this. Okay, they got out of it. Now I hit boss here. I'm in a very good position as I can just boss catch a cloak, and that since the Neo Upper was already attached, I don't think they really have a way to set up with Dragapult the next turn or even like getting enough attacks. That draw was very strong. I'm not going to talk yet. I'm just going to do all my coin bonuses first just to get this done. Coin bonus, coin bonus, coin bonus. I'm going to bench Solrock, attach return. There's not really anything to think about here. It says always boss. What I'm probably going to try and do is attack with Solrock the following turn on their Badoo. I don't really want to scrub more energy since I could lose if I mess up my energy management and I somehow like run out. So I kind of be a little bit careful, but it's not really something you need to be too worried about in this matchup because usually they don't have enough ways to just like Badoo you every turn to really be all that worried. It's just something to be careful about. Yeah, I think we're going to try to stall for time, and like this is fine with me. I really don't need to be doing much. I'm so far ahead because of what resources they've had to use already, so I feel very good about my position. And them missing Cloak was very bad. Here, I'm just checking my resources. I want to find Turo this turn, so still checking. I don't want to show Genesect, and I don't, so I want to draw my cards. One, when it's night, when you use one of the Air Balloon, actually, I was going to use the other one, but that's incorrect. 2, 3. Here, let's grab Artazon. That's fine. I'm going to take a knockout here. I don't love that my Air Balloon is being... my Air Balloons are being used, but like, I think this is totally reasonable. Then... Oh, wait. Don't make that mistake like I did. See, this is why it's very good to remember reading your cards and use Artazon first. This is something that I've been like so not used to, that I made that mistake. So do not do what I just did. That is a mistake that I for sure am going to keep in here because I do not want others to make the same mistake that I just did. Yeah. You should have used Artazon here for Lunatone. Do not do it how I did. I completely forgot when that happened. So please, please, please remember what the card actually does and do not make that choice like I just did. Now this game's actually pretty awkward. Not getting to 4 before the first Phantom Dive is like very bad because we have to, like, it's just so unlikely that I actually get to attack this following turn because of how I've maneuvered this board. So this is actually pretty awkward because what they can do is like usually set up a perfect 6 prize play over 2 Phantom Dives, but should be fine still actually because we have access to double Turo, so I have 2 turns to find Turo. All right, coin bonus, coin bonus, and coin bonus. I want to boss edge a Cloak here. Yeah, I want to boss edge a Cloak. So the reason for this is they're already down in Neo upper, so this makes it so it's a lot harder for them to chain 2 Dragapults following 2 turns. Here I'm just gonna mention Lunatone and pass. Like, this play is also I think still good even if they're not down Neo upper because boss is not gonna be that important in this game. I didn't boss the Dusclops because they can evolve Dragapult and just like actually not Dragapult, Dusknoir, but like use it for a good play, do like 13 to Gholdengo, set up an awkward board save for me. So I think it's a little bit better here to do this where you boss this because it forces energy attachment to be used, and like I can guarantee knock out Dragapult the following turn. It's not at all hard for me because I'm already like seen enough cards where it seems very, very, very difficult for me to be unable to knock out a Dragapult at this point in the game because I've drawn a lot. I have Vessel Metal Fighting Gong in my hand, so it's like just so unlikely, and I feel very good about it. Again, I just think that boss is like not really a valuable resource at this point in the game. I'm not too worried about it. So this attachment is really important because it makes it so that they are unable to again use Dragapult the next 2 turns. So that's why I did it. Still checking. Just do recon. Okay. This game is very, very, very weird now because of that mistake I made. So if I was at 4 prizes, I think this game is like impossible to lose. But now it's like technically I could lose. Again, the odds are very, very small that there's actually a loss here, but it could happen. Okay, Dawn's an interesting card. I'm not like a massive fan of it. I think it's probably better than the second copy of Hilda because this Hilda is very awkward. So not something that's like all that great in the deck. Hilda's just like very decent with your Neo upper, but after the like you find your Neo upper, it's just so awful. And now with Lily in the deck, you draw so many cards, so I think it's totally reasonable to play it. All right, I have. I'm gonna double check. I might have made a mistake there. I don't think I took the Gholdengo off the prize. Yeah, my deck's already shuffled, so I don't really care about doing that. Draw 2, draw 1, draw 1. I'm gonna knock them out. It's going to 4 here. Puts a lot of pressure on them, so I can do that. And I have 2 Turos, so I can like move anything, so it's not really a big deal. I have enough energy, right? I'm gonna double check. I have exactly enough, I think. It's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, I have 4 energy left, so I have exactly enough to knock out enough Badoos or do something else. So I feel very good about my spot. They're probably gonna IO to be here, which is very annoying, but it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, like now they can chain 2 Dragapults, but like that's totally fine. I just didn't want to be able to do it the previous turn. Now it's like not a big deal at all if they go for that. Here it's just gonna be the Iono turn, just checking resources. They're down double Stretcher double, or just 1 Lily. Excuse me, Iono. Down jamming, so probably 1 CC, 1 boss left, maybe 2 bosses. Monkey, okay, they're trying to thin their deck out, I think, here. Don't think you're supposed to use Dusknoir here. I think Dusknoir use is a little awkward, but I think evolving here, of course, is correct because it just gets out of the deck. I'm not going to boss KO at this point in the game. Let's check my discard. 3, so I need to find a few energy. Okay. I like all these cards, so I will definitely be starting my turn with using Genesect. We use Genesect over Fighting Gong because I think I just want to draw energy here because I need to find a few to get knockout. That's my first thought because that's 5 in my hand currently. So I need 2 more. I think I just want to hold Fighting Gong then. It's like bad if no, I don't think it's ever bad. I think it's just correct too. I'm gonna be down 7, 9, 10, 11 energy, but like I guess I'll just use Solrock. This is a little awkward. So actually, I might need to play around Badoo here. We'll have to see though. Genesect. Fail. I start a Lunar Cycle because I just want to see what I draw. Coin bonus. Coin bonus. Coin bonus. Yes. I think that's 1. Same math because I have how many deck? I have 1 more, so that's let me count that as 4, 5. Usually, like doing these spots is like using things with my superior first, like think, but I actually need energies, so I just need to check because I think I'm supposed to Turo this. I was doing math in my head, make sure. I'm gonna play box, so I'm just gonna play this. Just get the decisions I know I'm doing for sure out of Vitality Band. That's for Fez. Turo, superior. It's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turo 60 damage 1. So it's the same thing. 4, 6, double superior. Okay. I'm doing it like this because I need the extra energy here because I think that my way to lose is my opponent tries to go for something like Dusknoir or my Solrock try to lock me, but this now is impossible for them to do because of how I played it. I don't need a Picnic Basket here. It's like they go for a Phantom Dive play. I don't really care too much here. And make it rain. I think this is like the one turn where it's like debatably outside like that one turn where I just completely forgot about the Solrock Lunatone. You need the Lunatone. I think this turn's a little bit interesting how like you were supposed to play it, but I think you're supposed to do this because you really just want to be able to get energies. Because like now I'm down 7, 8, 9 instead of 10. I prized my last energy. So like I did it like this because now I'd have, I think, exactly energies. My last prize for me to lose. I think I'll also go for this play. That's like a little scary. I need to think about this some more. Yeah, I think it was still correct to play like this, but it's actually a little spooky now. So very nice. Excuse me, I had 2 energy prize, so it's a little different. There's no fighting, right? Yep, no fighting. Okay, that was really. I think that the game actually was really losable. They could have gotten double knockout there. I'm trying to think right now if that was like incorrect or not. Like the one turn there, because it's like a little interesting how you could like go there for like the Turo, the active. It's like very similar. The problem is though, then you have to go. Well, you lose the fighting on the Solrock to retreat off of it. So like that's the way to like make the still work. But I think it's actually like pretty reasonable because the thing is like if you do that instead, what happens is like because the 2 energy, like the last 2 there's 2 energy prized. You have ways to, if I count my energy at least properly, it's like still better. So I think it's actually there. You're supposed to Turo active and then just retreat off the Solrock because the extra energy gets the knockout. So I think it's actually just correct to do it that way. That's like on me for definitely making a mistake there, but something good to note is like it's supposed to Turo active just because then they get Phantom Dive, knock out the 2. It's a little annoying. And we're always playing around the Badoo issue because there's 2 energy prize. Well, not fully actually, but they deck out first if I remember correctly, so it's definitely correct. Or excuse me, they play Lily, so it's not true. Okay, this hand's great. It's kind of hand I want with this deck. Just my out for Lunatone Solrock. The Professor Cup sleeves are very cool. I'm not a big fan of like having cool cards on live. It's too much effort. I prefer just to play the rare, wherever like the imported list or like the list I make is. No, extra clicks are a little annoying, but I think those are very cool. Okay, so this matchup. I'm thinking on my hand first, how I'm going to play this. So they're going to go for Pikachu EX probably if I'm playing Gholdengo. So my goal this turn is to go like not play Gholdengo and play. Kind of just want to like go Fighting Gong for Solrock, Vessel Metal for 2 fighting, and just draw. And that's just the correct play. So I'm doing this first because if you're going to guarantee search something, you just start with the card that doesn't involve discard just in case things change. 7 prize. Gimmighoul 2 Gholdengos, that's fine. Arven, boss. Vessel, no Poffin, Fighting Gongs. Okay, nothing crazy. Well, the Nest Ball, because we don't know what we need yet. With it, it could be a well, I can't think of the card's name. It could be a copy of Gimmighoul, could be a copy of Genesect. We're not too sure with it. They're playing a Joltik deck. I don't think I really want a Nest Ball here yet. We're not really sure what we need. Might be gold, like the other card still, because there's like good odds we want to go boss KO next turn. So just pass. It's a little awkward because again, I'm thinking about the boss situation, so it might be Nest Ball for Genesect here. So I don't really want to bench it and use it yet. It's not a matchup where we're going to get knocked out, so not really a big deal. Like if we lose, if they got like a generator or something and knock us out, that's totally fine. Like I'm going to play the way you're supposed to play against a deck it's most likely, which is Joltik Box or Joltik Gholdengo. So that's why I didn't play Nest Ball here. We just need more information before trying to figure out how we're supposed to play this with this Nest Ball. And if we lose something like, let's say, Miraidon here, now we know for game 2 not to make this play, and that's totally fine. If this was like a best of 3, because I'm playing this not as like a best of 1, I play it as best of 3 still, just because it's better for practice if you play live the same as you would play in best of 3. I do look at best of 3 as like, and against a a lot of these decks, like, you don't mind if you lose a game to something like you don't really expect. So that's why I like making these kind of plays. Matchup's a little awkward. We don't really have a good way to deal with Pikachu in this deck. Like, we have no copies of something like a Vengeful Punch or I Brute Bonnet to deal with Pikachu, so this is going to be very awkward to handle. But if we're able to be aggressive enough, I think there's a chance we can still win the matchup. Hopefully their hand's bad, but that's really unlikely for them not to have a turn 1 Jolting Charge, as all they need from this spot is 1 energy. But they don't have like a Crispin or something, that'd be very good for us. Crispin would be quite annoying. Okay. That's very bad for us here. Let's see how they attach to energies, because there's a lot of options here. Because the deck, the one issue is it can have problems chaining Pikachu, so we might be able to abuse that fact. Depends on how they set up here. Check what energy they got. I was not looking at it. Because they got grass, so they have a grass in hand. Okay. I really want to hit Knockout on Pikachu. Knockout Pikachu, excuse me. Knockout on Iron Hands this turn. With how they played this is very awkward for me to do it now. I believe I have the energy to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not yet. I'm gonna start a Lunar Cycle because we're not still uncertain on how we're gonna play this out. This hand, so what I'm gonna do here is go Nest Ball for Gimmighoul. Then I'm just gonna bench Genesect. We're gonna have to like be a little more aggressive than I prefer in this kind of situation because we need to be able to respond to their board state. Like, worst case here, I want to boss this Pikachu and deal damage so that we're able to deal with it later. Okay, we have exactly enough, right? So we attach, play Superior, done Picnic Basket Solrock. Yeah, and then we can just knock out Iron Hands here. This is excellent because now we go knock out Iron Hands and then we can go the following turn, knock out, or excuse me, put damage on Pikachu. And then make it rain. I'll say this is one thing I do like about this deck is it's very good at doing this. Just turn 2, you can get big plays because of how good Lunatone is. So here my game plan is probably next turn, it's hopefully hit Turo. So I can just Turo the Genesect and attack with Solrock. Like, I don't really think that they have a good response to us doing that. Their deck just is not built to handle that situation. And if we miss that, it's a little awkward because if they're able to get Crispin here or go like knock out Topaz Bolt into something along the lines of like Crispin Prime Catcher or Crispin Boss next turn, it's really bad for us if they go double Pikachu here and we have 2 prizes in play. This is the one really bad part behind Genesect in play in this situation. Why I didn't want to bench it originally was now like we can't go for the best line, which is KO the 2 prizer, let Pikachu knock out Gholdengo, put 70 on it, and they have a lot of issues. But now this is very awkward for us, unless again we draw a Turo in the top 4 cards of our deck. See how they set up here, because the other option is just to do 200 to Pikachu and then try to find Turo the following turn. And I think that's actually pretty reasonable, and I think that's what I'm kind of leaning towards the more I look at this board. But it really also depends on how they set up here. We also just go boss here to win. Like, that's pretty reasonable to hit. Do the Arven for Server Prime Catcher? I'm a little concerned about going for the Solrock line. The more I look at this board, the more I'm doing the math in my head, I kind of lean towards the boss line here. I'm really scared about them like setting up everything they need. Not boss to give me the, it's like promote, give me gold and set up boss. Like, still easier for them to respond to the stuff I'm doing here to win the game, and I don't really want to like let them do that. So I think they would have Prime Catcher in hand. That's my assumption here. So they have Prime Catcher. So I would Arven for Prime here, even if I didn't have Crispin in hand, because you have multiple draws for it. How many energy are they down? They're not down a ton, because they did it right. Yeah, 5, 7, yeah. Okay, that's not originally what I want to do, but I think this is actually a little better here. As I was talking about, oops. Search the deck. I forgot to check if the last one's prized. Okay. What I'm going to do here is start with Lunar Cycle. Vessel the Mawile. Coin bonus here. I'm undecided if I want to evolve the bench one or not. Okay, that's a really good draw. Because now what I can do is just not evolve this bench one. And I can set up for just a lot of damage this turn. The next turn I can just Turo. So I actually like this. Let's go to grab cards like this card here. Like, let me think. So I want superior this for this thinking. Oh, actually, I want this Night Stretcher. So I want to be able to get back Gimmighoul next turn. Keep Secret Box in deck because I own it later down the road. Yeah, I like this a lot. Now we go superior. 1, 2. Excuse me, actually, we want to keep that. So it's Nest Ball. Search for Gimmighoul. I'm very, very, very happy with how this board's going. This game has played out quite well for us, actually. After being a little concerned at the beginning. Because even though Crispin KO here, their deck can't generate a good response, so I was having access to Turo this following turn. If we didn't have Turo, this would be a little awkward, but I think this is actually just our best play here. Now we have access to Turo, because if we went Solrock and they had Prime Catcher, we had very high odds of losing, so it's a little better. Here, I guess they're just hitting for Crispin, which makes sense. Like, you have to hit it off gear here where the game is over, so kind of have to extend as much as possible. I had to use some of my energy, though, because of Crispin. I see our argument for Turoing last turn to Genesect, but I think this is a little better. We got to thin the deck out a lot, and that's a little important here. Having, like, not as many bad draws in the situation. I think it's quite important, because we want to be hitting everything we want every turn going forward. Okay, so they miss, most likely, unless they have an art gear in hand. Or they're thinking about, like, they're looking for something else. And I had the wrong read on what their hand is. Or what their game plan is. Like, they might have to go, like, Joltik now, which is, like, pretty good for us. Because it means that we can, like, just boss and have access to Turo the following turn. Yeah, this is great. Now they're just going to have to go retreat, super odd Jolting Charge. Or just Jolting Charge. So they have plenty of energy. Yeah. I'm thinking about here if we ever want to boss Pikachu, like, because they're going to do the undamaged one. Just correct a boss there and just, like, attack that. I don't think it is, but I've been thinking about, like, if that's ever actually correct in this situation. I'm never knocking out Joltik here. If I'm, like, forced to try to knock out something, I'm not taking Joltik out because I want to make sure I have enough energy to finish off this game because we're down double superior at this point. That's like not really too much of a concern, but it's like a lot of energy. Not something that like I'm thrilled about, but shouldn't be too big of a deal. Lunar cycle. That's a lot. I think we have energy left, if I remember correctly. Yep. Here, we're going to be very conservative. We're just going to do this. Turo Genesect. Retreat into our Solrock, and I'm just going to pass. I don't want to play any of my cards out, because if they attack with Pikachu, I want to have very thin, like, board that's like doesn't have any issues. Yep, this is not a problem. This was kind of what we were expecting here. Some to do this. And even if we miss this turn, we're not going to put any 2 prizers into play, so it feels pretty good. Because, like, worst case is it's just Petrel for boss, which totally fine with me. I love the Fighting Gong because, like, with the Iono, having access to, like, an extra fighting out is, like, kind of nice. I think it matters too much, but hold on to it. Check their discard. I'm kind of thinking if I have like the time to Petrel for boss here still. I'm gonna thin out the Nest Ball. I think I want to get Fez here. No. It's a little unfortunate that we missed, but I think we really have an option here. So I just like superior and attack. We bench Fez, we're bad in the boss. Like, there's too many outs here for them to win. They're down double metal. They had a fire arm quick one puts 2 metal. So I don't actually need to do much here. All I need to do is Petrel for boss. Use Cosmic Beam. This is the one downside of this list, not having Countercatcher and playing 4 boss. Is like, if I had Countercatcher here, the game's over. So something to keep in mind about the list. Yeah, it's just so easy for me to lose Ursaluna there, so I couldn't ever bench Fezandipiti. Because if I bench Fez, then I just, even if I hit boss, it's so high odds. That's why I didn't do anything this turn. I need to be super slow. Also, let's play something like Iono. Our hand's pretty good into it because we have a lot of outs, which is pretty good. I'm a little confused because they have an Ultra Ball here. I'm assuming their hand has to be really good, like a Prime Catcher, if they're not willing to Ultra Ball all of it away. Even Prime Catcher here is like, I don't think the card's very important at this point in the game. Okay. They're really trying to hit on Crispin here, I guess. Crispin doesn't work, right? Oh, I forgot who is that Pokemon has energy attached. How it works. Okay, Christmas is good enough here. Okay. Boss Pikachu. He's Fighting Gong because now the card's gonna be bad. I'm seeing about my deck if I want to use Lunatone here. Yeah, I do. I have a lot of bad cards here. The only good one there is Secret Box, so I kind of want to get out all the bad cards. Yeah, those are very good to hit. It's not against Artazon, Nest Ball, fail. Dash return. Air Balloon another one because then it's so that if I get like Gholdengo. I'm actually very weak into Iona here, which is not great, but I don't think there's really much I can do. It looks like I can't evolve in Gholdengo because they have a Prime Catcher basically face up in my mind, and they draw so many cards. I just had to hope they don't have like Ursaluna, Iona, something like that. The one downside of how this game played out is now that like I have no good cards I can get off of this. This is a little scary if they Iona me. Usually anti-Iona in these decks, but Iona will actually be very good here. Which is a little shocking to me, because usually they really dislike that card. But it would just actually lose me the game if they have access to Iona here. Because of like how this game played out with how slow our draw is. I'm interested in what they're thinking about. Okay, think about boss. I think it's reasonable. I mean, I would attach this energy only if I have exactly how many I have. But like, I think it's like decent odds. Like maybe it's like I missed something. I think their odds of winning are so low. It's like you might as well take the risk that like I messed up. It's kind of my like resources. So I don't mind that at all. Actually, I think that was pretty good. But yeah, this matchup is not that bad. Like it's not favored, but like you have a lot of ways to like work around things. If you're able to like just remove Iron Hands from the equation, like there's just a lot of stuff you can do. But yeah, it's all I have today. The first game was a little messy, but again, it's a learning experience for everyone. I hope that you enjoyed these matches I played, as I at least thought both were very interesting and showcased some of the power of the deck. Check out my content or ask me any questions, check my Metafy in the comments, and yeah, I'll have another video next week. Until next time, Ian out. Peace.